Hello, it's Rob Cornish. I hope you're very well indeed. Let me show you this shocking example to begin with, then we'll move on to some solutions, 3 or 4 solutions which you might like to consider. What we're looking at here is the contact profile for a subscriber that joined my list 4 days ago. You can see here on the right hand side. Now it's highly likely that this is not a real person, but instead a bot. And as you may know, bots increasingly go around the web seeking out opt-in forms or contact forms to sign up to. There are several reasons why they do this, but one of those reasons is to spread malware. So you can see what's happened here. I've blocked out these because there's some bad language, and also obviously this email address could actually be of a real person. Sometimes the email addresses that the bots use come from spam lists which are disseminated online. But in any case, what's going on here is they're actually in the name field, they've entered a link. I haven't followed this link, but it may well lead to malware or something equally unpleasant. So you can start to see the risk here. If you're using single opt-in and bots join your list, and I get probably about 3 to 5 of these per week, and every broadcast message you send to your list or the autoresponder follow-up, you could be spamming effectively. And if you use the personalization name field, you could actually even be promoting malware. So it's a pretty serious problem. Now let's consider another example like this. What if someone signed up for your list with an address like abuse@spamarrest.com? So now, if this comes onto your list and you're using single opt-in, so it just gets automatically added and every email you send goes out, including to this subscriber, then effectively what you're doing with every email you send out to your list, you're reporting yourself for spam. So you can begin to see this is quite a serious issue. And I could show you numerous other screenshots of these bots that have signed up or tried to sign up for my list, but hopefully this is enough of an illustration to know that it is a real issue you should pay attention to. What are the solutions? Well, the first solution is very, very simple. It's the good old-fashioned standard double opt-in. So what happens here, we have an email opt-in form. Maybe this is where you give away your free report or a newsletter, whatever it is online. And before we allow that person, that subscriber, fully onto our list, what we do is send them a confirmation email. So please confirm your email. And then we check to see if they clicked the link in that email. And if they have clicked the link to confirm their email, fine. Then we send follow-ups, they're fully on our list. But if they don't confirm, then we stop and we never send them another email. Now this is what I use in my business. It's very simple. It does reduce the number of subscribers, on purpose, because we want to keep bots away. But it does ensure quality over quantity. And a lot of big companies do this. You've probably experienced it yourself. Recently I was seeing a story about Morning Brew, which is a really, really super success story in the financial space. They have a financial newsletter that goes out, and they moved their business to double opt-in using this procedure. Very, very effective. Yes, you lose subscribers, but you really ensure quality. Now the second method is very, very similar. It's just that the messaging is different. So what we could do here in method 2, and I call this the disguised double opt-in, just because the subscriber doesn't necessarily realize what's actually happening, but it's pretty much the same. All we do after they opt in is we send them the email saying, thank you, here's your free report, or whatever they've signed up for, but we still test that link. If they never click it, if they never access that report that they've signed up for, then we stop. We never send them another email. But if they do access the report, then it's fine. We carry on. So in effect, this is just a standard double opt-in, but with a change in the messaging of that first email. Now there are other solutions as well. So method 3 would be to consider captchas and hidden fields. Now you can, I've put a link to more information on this in the YouTube description below or in the blog post. If you're on YouTube, click through to the blog post, you'll see all the information there, or you can just Google this. So the idea here is you can either add a captcha code to your opt-in form. I don't really like the idea of that. I don't really like captcha forms. I think it's a bit of a pain. It does stop bots, but I don't want to use that method myself. Or the other method is hidden fields. So the idea here is that a bot won't realize that it's a hidden field, so it will fill it out, but a real person won't even see it, so they can't fill it out. Now, the efficacy of that, how well it works, is debatable. Again, there's a big discussion online, but it's another method that you can consider to stop bots signing up for your list. And the fourth method is just a good old-fashioned manual check, and this is what I do regularly. So I sit down with a cup of tea, I go into my email system, I look at my list, and I just look at the new subscribers that have come through, and I just eyeball it to see if it makes sense. Are they opening emails? A big sign to look for is an obvious difference in the name and the email. So if the email says janesmith@whatever.com and the name field says something completely different, I found often that is a sign of something suspicious, which you might like to look into more. So this is a very simple thing. You can do it regularly. There's nothing special or really clever about it, but it's actually very effective. So by looking, you can back up the other methods like double opt-in that you might be using. Now, final thoughts. Personally, I use single opt-in for paid products because in my experience of over 10 years selling online, you tend to always get a high quality email address when somebody has bought something from you. Also, so-called private opt-in pages set up for trusted traffic sources, also I use single opt-in. So for example, if let's say you're running a webinar and you're working with a joint venture partner who's going to drive you some traffic. Well, I know in that case where the traffic's coming from. I trust the marketing partner, and therefore single opt-in is absolutely fine. Equally, for my retargeting ads on Google Ads or Facebook ads, for example, if I'm doing promotions there with paid traffic, then I know where the traffic's coming from. I trust it. Therefore, I'm very relaxed about single opt-in. So really, in particular, this is just my perspective. You can do what you like, but in my perspective, it's really about these public sign-up forms that you might have on your website or a squeeze page where they can be found in Google. You want them to be found in Google, but that also means there's a risk from bots and bad subscribers that can get onto your list. So overall, my approach, and you might like to adopt this as well, is just quality over quantity. I'd much rather cut down the number of subscribers that I get on my list, but have really high quality, because that develops good relationships with your clients and subscribers over time. It's good for them because they get value, and you end up with a really solid, profitable business in the long term. So that's kind of my thinking, and I hope these thoughts and insights in this video have been helpful to you. If you're watching on YouTube, click through to the blog post, please leave a comment. I'd love to hear your take, whether you found this useful, any other questions. And below you will also see a link to get a free copy of my hook book. For now, take care and have a great day.